Well, I told you guys to prepare, didn't I? I told you guys that we were going to be seeing a lot of volatility, a lot of corrections, very hard corrections all over the place. Crypto, stocks, currencies, forex, whatever. I mean, guys, we are in an era of chaos. I told you guys in my Twitter that we are in an era of chaos. That means basically that everything is going. It's going crazy, man. It's going crazy. That's all I can say. I need to watch my words because this is a finance video, not a political video or anything like that. But you guys are seeing what's happening in England, all over the British Isles. I think that you know what's happening will eventually spread to the rest of Europe, Germany, France, and then to America and the entire West in general. You can see later on Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and a few other countries maybe. This is mostly going to be located on the West because there are some things that some factors are driving changes in the regions. So if you happen to live in any Western country, you need to be careful because that's where things are going to hit the hardest. Now, if you live in other peripheral countries, so-called third world countries or second world countries, whatever, just not in the West, you will be a lot safer, ironically, because things are shifting and the world order is shifting. So you have China, Russia, and a bunch of other countries, emerging countries, that are rising up to the status and are becoming the next superpowers, the next centers of power. And that obviously includes financial power. You have many things developing in real time, such as the Texas having its own stock, basically independent from the one in New York. The grid of Texas, all of that, guys. I mean, that's a lot of stuff that it will take me an hour or even more to make a more detailed video about this. So you need to do your own research. I'm only here to do and bring you the general picture in a very structured and brief way, right? I'm not here to make a documentary of all what's happening because, I mean, guys, this is not going to end right here. I mean, you need to be prepared because I told you guys in my last videos actually, because this is something that has been a recurring theme on my videos, that I told you guys that as soon as we approach the end of this year, the elections of the United States, and the beginning, the first quarter of the next year, 2025, many things are going to be drastically altered, and that especially has to do with the economy. You're looking at the Nikkei index, the Japan stocks index. Now, if you know anything about Japan in the last few weeks, non-stop corrections, non-stop fear, you can see that this massive fear ever since the first days of August and the last day, currently 4th of August, just a massive correction, very hard, very hard-hitting dump. This is on Japan. As you know, Japan is, I think, one of the most, if not the most, in-debt country in the entire world. They have a massive debt. I think even larger proportionally compared to the United States. And unlike the US, Japan does not have the tools to actually stall off that kind of debt. And basically, Japan is in a much more vulnerable position than the West and the US. And Japan is a very, very big motor of the world economy. You have Japan was, up until very recently, the third largest economy in the world. They got surpassed by Germany and I think even Russia now. Yeah, Russia is, I think, surpassing Japan, at least in terms of PPP, purchasing power parity. not the GDP nominal capita or anything like that, but just the GDP PPP and purchasing parity. And in that index also China is the leading power already. I mean, China is already the world's largest economy by that index alone. So you need to be paying attention to all of this. You need to secure your profits. You need to take measures to protect your patrimony and your well-being, because like I said, if you're watching what's happening on England and soon to be in the entire rest of the Western countries, you need to be very prepared. Your family, whatever, you need to be prepared. I told you guys that the next months were going to be critical. I told you guys that in July or even June, I think. And this is only getting even more crazy. Now, this is not the end of the world. I don't want to make you guys to get into panic or something like that. This is not the end of the world. I don't think the massive recession like the one we saw or the one that occurred on the Great Depression nearly 100 years ago. I don't think that's coming very soon in the near future. I don't think so. I have not made a prediction about that, so I will have to make one in order to make or give some specific possible dates for such an event. But you guys know the implications of sharing that kind of information, right? So I will have to be very careful with that. But the thing that I want you guys to remind is that this is not the end of the world, but you need to be prepared, because when things rebound and when the economy starts moving up again on the green, many things, there are many profits to be made. On the red is when you prepare your strategies to make future profits. But on the green is when you take those profits. Many people conflate the two and actually misunderstand that the strategy. They actually go, most of the people, including most of the so-called professional traders, they all go for the sell high and buy low. I mean, vice versa, right? I got confused right there. And the sell low and buy high. I mean, that's what most people do, because panic. People just cannot control themselves. I don't know about Japan specifically, but when you see, for example, gold, when you see, for example, oil, when you see, for example, silver, and when you go to the stocks, I mean, you can see the general picture with the SP 500, and you can go for Tesla, and you can go for Apple. Most, if not all of these stocks are going to rebound hard. We're going to reach even higher peaks. I don't think this is the end. The economy will go even higher before we see a massive crash, like I was commenting with the possible repeat of another Great Depression. Things will go much higher than they are currently on before we see such an event. So be prepared. Don't let panic control your finance, but also be aware that you need to secure your patrimony. You need to secure your well-being. That's the most important part of all of this. Before guys, this is we're very near the storm, right? We already past the calm before the storm. We are entering the first stages of the storm, but after the storm comes the paradise. So you need to be prepared. This is not the end of the world, guys. That's all the message that I want to share with you, because many people are out there bringing you news. Basically, I mean, they're just basically profiting from the fear of the people, right? They're just spouting doom news nonstop all the time. They're telling you that everything's over, that conflicts are imminent, that WW3, whatever, all of that stuff, and they just want you to be afraid and in a state of panic. And the most disgusting thing is that many people are just grifters, and they're just trying to sell you some survival prepper stock, whatever, just profiting from people's fear, and I think that's disgusting. So I need to bring some balance to that, to that discourse, to that misinformation. This is not the end of the world, guys. Just be prepared and everything will go and will be fine, right? So I will be doing more predictions for, like I said in my last video, I will be doing predictions, so you still have time to put in the comments what stocks, what crypto, whatever you want me to cover. Obviously only traditional stocks, because crypto is covered in my crypto channel. Right here I only cover forex, stocks, futures, whatever. So you still have time to make your own suggestions, and I will be taking them into account. And basically that's it, guys. Don't be afraid. Always remember that everything is always going to be fine. Everything is always going to be fine. So with that being said, I'll be seeing you guys next time, and take care.